Dropping by to say hi. Anne-Marie Buerkle, how are you?
I'm fine, Gary. How are you doing?
I'm a little disappointed. I got to tell you, I'm disappointed. Well, I was watching a Dan Maffei commercial, and he didn't talk about the health care bill, and he didn't talk about cutting taxes. And I was kind of disappointed. I was hoping that he would talk about his vote for health care, for Obamacare. I was hoping he would in his commercials mention maybe this carbon tax credit thing. It was missing. It was missing.
I was going to ask you, and did he mention stimulus while you were at it?
Well, they're just, the commercials seem kind of weak. I don't know what the guy's running on. Now that you're on the line, I'm hoping you can tell me.
Well, I know what he's not running on, and that is his record, because he knows his record does not resonate with the upstate New York voters, and he knows that it's not what they wanted, and it's too much government, too much regulations, and increase in taxes, and that's not what the people in our district wanted.
Okay.
And he knows that, so now he resorts to pretending that he's a moderate and looking and attacking me for positions and with half-truths and distortion. So it's politics as usual. It's the Democrat playbook this year. And, unfortunately what they do with some of this is they make these seniors, they incite fear with the seniors, whether it's with Social Security or Medicare. And that's not fair to do to the seniors by just creating this fear with them.
Yeah, he's not running on his record. He's running from it, I think.
I think right, Gary.
All right, now tell me what's going on here. There's some kind of I got an email here from your campaign. What's going on here? Some kind of a big meeting? Let me see if I can find this here. Here we go. Anne-Marie Buerkle to discuss 40 seats. Oh, 40seats.com. That's what it is.
Yeah.
What's 40seats.com?
40seats.com is a organization, and they are grassroots, and they've gone throughout the country, and they've identified competitive races, and they've identified races where they're grassroots campaigns, and they came to us and included us in the 40 seats as one of the seats that we will win back this November. So that's, on a lot of levels, it's very gratifying, and we did a media event today, and also it was done across the nation with the other candidates as well. But it really is so much of what this election is about this year, and it's grassroots. It's the people getting involved. I look at the contributions we receive, the phone calls, the volunteers, the yard signs. People want to get involved, and that's such a good thing for our process.
I'm seeing your signs more and more out there. Are you running TV commercials now?
We are. We're up TV starting. We did cable last week, and this week we're doing cable and network TV for the next couple of weeks. And we're also on the radio. So we are up.
There you go. That's what you need. You need to let people know there's a choice out there. By the way, I have not, and I know you're surprised at this. I hope you're sitting down. I don't want you to fall when you hear this. In spite of having asked on the phone, having sent emails, and having finally sent snail mail, Dan Maffei is still not accepted the invitation to come on the program.
It's a shame. It's just a shame, because the voters deserve to know and to hear our positions on the issues. And I would think if I was a sitting congressman, I'd be interested in telling people all of the good things I've done and why they should reelect me. But apparently that's not what he's thinking. I
saw his TV commercial where he talks about green jobs.
The green jobs. It's so ironic, and this whole I know Krauss-Irving Hospital received $300,000 to replace their light bulbs from the incandescents to the new fluorescents. And you know what he fails to tell us with that is all those fluorescent lights are made over in China. And those are the last incandescent light bulb factory closed in Westchester, Virginia. And now everything's shipping jobs overseas. So that's kind of an idea of what the stimulus money was used for, as well as how we're greening our environment.
So let me see if I've got this straight. He votes for a bill that essentially kills the incandescent light bulb sales in the United States. Then General Electric and every other plant sends their incandescent light bulb manufacturing overseas, and I'll bet now he wants to close tax loopholes for those plants that move their jobs overseas as a result of the bills that he's passed.
Yeah, sounds like you got it right, Gary. It's amazing. We've really, Washington has lost all common sense, as has our congressman, and they forget what government is meant to be involved in, what government should be doing for us, and that's very minimal. And, we were just looking here. I've gone on record as saying I think the Department of Education should be abolished. I think that the authority and the funding should come to the local governments, to the state government, because they know what's best for their community. Well, the congressman he's absolutely criticized me on that issue every day of the week. He thinks that's the most outrageous position to take. But I was just reading that now the Department of Education, there used to be a board in between the schools and colleges, in between the Department of Education and the institutions, this accrediting board. Well, now the Department of Education is promoting, let's take that accreditation board away. So now the Department of Education, with private colleges and private schools, the Department of Education will be the ones providing and handing out the accreditation. I mean, this kind of stuff, I don't even know how many people are aware of what's going on, but the rights that are being taken away and being given to the federal government should be of concern to everyone.
I'm kind of curious about this thing because the Department of Education, I just thought everybody thought it was a waste of money, and I couldn't imagine campaigning saying, "Gee, let's keep sending money for our schools to Washington so they can pay themselves, and then hold it out like a carrot." If we do the right thing, they'll give it back to us. That just doesn't even begin to make sense. But I'm going to ask listeners about that in a few minutes.
Good. I think it would be good to hear from the listeners and their position on that. But, if we give that money back we give the authority back to the states and to the local governments and the money, think of what we cut out in Washington in the Department of Education. And, this movie that just came out, Waiting for Superman, it's an indictment. It's an indictment against unions and what they've done to the school system. So it's time to revisit this. And I think a good place to start is getting rid of the Department of Education. I
couldn't agree with you more. Your web address is?
www.buerkleforcongress.com, and that's Buerkle, buerkleforcongress.com. We'd love to have people check out the site, and all of my positions are there, and sign up as a volunteer and get involved in the campaign.
Future Congresswoman Buerkle, if people wanted to meet you in person, where's your next stop or two?
Well, every Wednesday morning at our headquarters in DeWitt on East Genesee Street, I have a coffee hour from 8 to 9 a.m., We invite the public to come and to meet me and to talk about issues. And then we've got a series of town hall meetings, but all of my events are posted on our calendar on the website, so people can check out where I am going to be. Come meet me. I just welcome the opportunity to meet all of the people who live in the 25th District. Final question, then I got to let you go because I'm falling behind. Could you very briefly tell the listening audience, those people who have just found our show and are just tuned in, just briefly about your compact with Central New York? Several months ago, we realized, after listening to thousands of people in the district, that they are distrustful and cynical about Washington and Albany. So we decided that, although it's very basic and it sounds like something we shouldn't have to say, what's really important to the voters are the type of leader that I will be. That I will be accessible and accountable and responsible and independent. And rather than looking at all the specific positions on issues, for a start, this is what you can expect of me as your leader and as your representative. And I think that's what people are looking for. They're trying to, there's so much uncertainty, and if we can pledge to them, this is what you can expect from me as your congressman. I think that, and then we look at the issues after that. I think that's more important this year in this election. And you're going to get on board with the Read the Bills Act, is that right? I'm going to read the legislation. That's part of the compact. Is we're going to read legislation before we vote on it. Anne Marie Buerkle, thank you so much for being with us. I know you got a really busy schedule, and it's going to get even